Call the audience. We do have two speakers, but before I call the speakers up, pursuant to the Arizona Open Meeting Law, Mayor and Council are not allowed to discuss, respond to, or take legal action on matters raised during call to the audience. At the conclusion of call to the audience, council members may direct town staff to review the matter, ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda, or respond to criticism made by speakers. So with that, Karen Stratman.
Good evening. My name is Karen Stratman. I am a resident of Oro Valley. Mayor and council and staff and audience here, I just would like to address the town budget. In my opinion, I feel like our town budget is a little bit out of control. Adding more money to the town budget at this time from other revenue sources, I don't believe will solve the problems that we're having with what's going on. I think a plug needs to be put into the golf course and restaurant that is draining our funds. Please get the golf out of the budget. I'm not sure. I think there's other people maybe interested in running the golf course. There's other solutions out there. We are not golf people, obviously. We do not run it very well. If there is a poll that indicates more ball fields are wanted, not golf, that should have been a priority, and not the golf course, which we all know was not a top priority in any poll ever taken in Oro Valley that I know of. I'm sorry that the town has no money for ball fields at this time. Every dollar seems to be going to the golf courses. Perhaps, even, this is just an idea, maybe some of the golf course could be used for batting cages, maybe a little bit of practice pitch, maybe catch. We have plenty of the space for it already there. Just thought. I strongly feel that adding a bond or other revenues sources is not a solution at this time. How do I know that any new bonds or taxes would be...
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, point of order. I asked the town attorney, is she allowed to... I thought the call audience weren't allowed to speak to any item on the agenda.
Excuse me. Mayor, members of the council, for the call of the public, they can pretty much talk about anything, but they're limited in time and you can't respond or take any action on it. So direct staff to study the matter if that's what you choose to do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just against adding any revenues or bond money to our budget at this time when we can barely keep track of what's going to the golf courses. How do we know that any of that revenue won't go to the golf courses? I've heard a rumor that there could be a secondary property tax or some bonds, perhaps.
Excuse me, Mayor, members of the council. Now I understand the question better. Yeah, the bond issue is going to be on an agendized item that's coming up.
I didn't actually see that.
Talking about the budget.
No, the budget's fine, but she specifically mentioned the bond issue that's on the agenda. Yeah,
now I understand the question. No, then that's not supposed to be addressed in the call to the public.
I'm sorry, I didn't even actually see the bond on here. I just saw ball fields. Doesn't really talk about that.
Mayor, members of the council, members of the public, it's item number 2 relating to the ballpark. It's part and parcel of that discussion.
Well, let me just say this. Correct me if it's not in the ballpark, but I believe perhaps 99 out of 100 residents do not golf here in Oro Valley. That would leave about 450 that maybe do, perhaps. So less than 1% of Oro Valley is invested in this golf course, other than their dollars every year that are coming to that. And I just say, please don't burden the citizens yet again with more revenues coming out of our pockets. Instead, balance the budget, please. And I respectfully thank you for my time.
Thank you.